If you've been putting in the work, you've been showing up every week, and you still haven't closed your first deal, the loss of motivation you're feeling right now is real, and it's not a sign that you chose the wrong career. This is the point where most new agents start to check out. They start questioning everything they've done, or they start looking for something outside of themselves to change this feeling. In this video, we're gonna talk about what's actually happening when motivation runs dry, how to keep it from slipping away completely, and how to shift what you're focused on so you can stay in long enough so that the momentum can finally catch up with the work you've been already putting in. My name's Coach K. I've been in the real estate business since 2004, and I've coached agents all over the country, brand new agents starting from zero, and agents who have been in the business for a few years without a single transaction. And in almost every one of those conversations where an agent is losing their motivation, the problem wasn't their effort, it was what they were using to measure it. I had an agent come to me a few years back who had been in the business for 2 years, going on their third. During that time, zero production, not a single deal in those 2 years. What they had done instead of closing deals was they bounced from brokerage to brokerage to brokerage every time their motivation started to slip. They were chasing a feeling of a fresh start. New brokerage, new energy, new office, but every time the same results. When they came to me for coaching, I had a very direct conversation with them. I told them we were either going to get them into production or we were going to get them out of the business. No more next brokerage move. They had already burned enough time and enough money staying alive just to that point. That conversation was one of the most motivating things anyone had ever said to them, and not because it was encouraging. It was motivating because for the first time, someone gave them a real choice instead of another soft landing. Shy of 3 months later, after more than 2 years in the business with nothing, they closed their first deal. Here's what I see happen to agents who lose their motivation in the absence of a transaction. They start measuring their progress in deals. When there's no deals, they see no progress and they feel like they're standing still. So they go looking for something to change that feeling. They'll go looking for a new brokerage. They'll look for a new tool. They'll look for a new coach, anything that creates a sensation of momentum without fixing what's underneath it. The problem is that none of that addresses what's wrong. The thing they're measuring, the presence or absence of a closing, sits completely outside their control. And when you anchor your motivation to something you don't control, you're going to run out. Here's what I walked that agent through and what I'd walk you through if you're sitting across from me right now and you're experiencing this. There are 3 things to look at in order, and most agents skip straight to the third one because it's the most comfortable. Go through all 3 before you decide what your problem is. The answer might surprise you. Number 1, look at activities. Are you doing what your business plan says to do? Not a version of it, not when the motivation is there, but the specific actions you committed to when the plan was built. If the answer is no, the conversation about motivation is a bit premature because the real conversation is about expectations. Let's be honest here. Were you really expecting to get into the business, not do much work, and make loads of money? If you happen to have that expectation, you're probably watching too much reality TV, like too many of these real estate reality shows. It's not accurate. Item number 2, if the activities are there, look at your quality of conversations. Are you converting conversations into appointments, or are you making calls and getting nowhere? If an agent makes, let's say, 100 conversations and sets 0 appointments, that's not because the market is bad. It's because they haven't learned to ask the right questions or stay in the conversation long enough to find the opportunity. That's a skill problem, and it has a very specific and, to be honest, a really easy fix. Item number 3, and this is the shift that moved the needle for that agent I mentioned earlier. Change what you're tracking. Stop counting closings for right now and start counting conversations. And consider counting the one thing most agents never think to measure: the number of agents around them who are quitting while they're still in the business. Every day you stay in this business, there's another agent out there somewhere who's thinking the exact same thing you're thinking right now. And they decided it's not worth it, and they walked themselves out of this business. With every agent who walks out, your competition gets a little bit thinner. Your conversations get sharper and your database gets deeper. Most agents never think about it this way, but your staying power is a competitive advantage, and the longer you stay, the more of it you build. Agents who figure that out early are the ones still standing when the momentum finally shows up. All right, so if you're running out of motivation, here's your move for this week. Stop counting closings and start counting conversations. pull out a notepad or open your CRM and write down how many real conversations you had with buyers or sellers in the last 7 days. Not texts, not emails, conversations where you ask someone about their situation and listened to the answer. The number is your real progress report. And once you're tracking it, you know exactly what to work on. Everything we talked about today gets a lot easier when you're not working through it alone. Most agents try to push through this stretch in isolation, and isolation is exactly where doubt wins and takes over. Most agents don't even make it past their second year, and it's almost never because they didn't work hard enough, it's because they were working through it alone. What I offer is a community built for newer agents, regular coaching calls, small group sessions, and real support on the things that determine your success in this business. And all this could be available to you for free. If you want to give yourself a real shot at this, click the link in the description below and let's get on a call. You can ask me everything and I'll explain it all. Next, there's going to be 2 videos that pop up on the screen. One will walk you through how to build a business plan that's built around you specifically. The same move that turned those 2 years of zero production into the first closing in under 3 months. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I'm Coach K. I'll see you in the next video.